such an interesting place on Earth that you should listen to what I have to say about it. Adem's Bridge connecting Sri Lanka and India. According to some, this bridge, which stretches for kilometers between the two countries, should have been built by putting the rocks weighing tons on top of each other, and only 40 meters in length. But why? Also, the importance of this place is not only for Muslims, but also for the world of Hinduism. This bridge has a different spiritual value. The recent events on this bridge, which is important in the world of two faiths, have led to the uprising of the people. Now hold on tight, because what I'm about to tell you will surprise you. If you're ready, let's start. The Adem Bridge connects the southeastern coast of India to the northern coast of Sri Lanka. This approximately 48-kilometer-long structure separates the Gulf of Mannar from the Palk Strait. The area where the bridge is located is a biologically rich place with a wide variety of marine species, including coral reefs. The story of this place, which is called Adem's Bridge by Muslims and Ramosido by those who believe in Hinduism, has a history that gives goosebumps among people of both faiths. Adem Bridge, which has a very spiritual importance in terms of religion, has caused many uprisings thanks to this feature. The story of this place, which is called Adem's Bridge by Muslims and Ramosido by those who believe in Hinduism, has a history that gives goosebumps among people of both faiths. Adem Bridge, which has a very spiritual importance in terms of religion, has caused many uprisings thanks to this feature. This is a situation that causes economic losses for both the shipping companies and the Indian government. When a canal project on the Adem Bridge was brought to the agenda in order to reduce the travel time and provide economic benefits, the tail of the cow was cut off. Both Hindus and Muslims started to rebel against the canal project and try to prevent this attempt because of the spiritual value of the bridge. The uprising of the people in the name of their beliefs has become the biggest obstacle to the canal project of the ship companies on the Adem Bridge. The proposal for this project, called the Athusa-Mudram Maritime Canal Project, was first made in the year 1860. However, the Indian government did not take the project seriously enough until the end of the 1990s. At the beginning of the 2000s, this canal project managed to attract the attention of the Indian government, despite opposition from various groups, such as Hindu nationalist groups and environmental organizations, who see the Adem's Bridge as a holy place of historical and cultural importance. India approved the canal project in 2005 and it was decided to begin work in 2006. However, the project faced several legal challenges, including a petition submitted by the Hindu nationalist group Ram Jamapamanus, which claimed that the project would harm the region and undermine its cultural and moral significance. In 2007, the work on the project was temporarily halted until further investigation was made by the decision of the Indian High Court. However, the government was determined to carry out this canal project by whatever means, believing that if they could scientifically prove that this bridge was not built by supernatural forces or HAZRAT Adem, they might be able to convince people of the canal project, and they started a large scientific study on the 45-kilometer giant bridge. A team of many scientists would dive into the sea to prove that the bridge was a naturally formed structure. They would collect samples and prove that the bridge was not man-made by doing their best. When the team was prepared, the work started. I will talk about the striking results of the work done, but if you wish, come now, let's take a look at the goosebump story of how the first human, Prophet Adem alayhi salam, took place in this region. HAZRAT Adem, he was the first human being created and the first prophet. Allah, the Almighty, who first created HAZRAT Adem, then created our mother, Eve, to be 10 wives. Adam and Eve were very happy in paradise. However, despite the fact that Allah had warned them, they were tricked by the devil and ate the fruit of the forbidden tree in paradise, and Allah decided to drive them away from paradise. Thus, they were taken out of heaven and sent to the world, provided that they were far from each other. Our mother, HAZRAT Eve, was brought down to the lands of Jeddah in Arabia with its current name, and HAZRAT Adem was descended on this mountain in Sri Lanka, also known as Serendip, on the Indian coast, which we know by its current name. The current name of this 2,244-meter high mountain is Sebeli Adem, that is, Adem Mountain. If you are looking at the first place on earth where the first created man set foot, you are now looking at descending to this high mountain in the east of Colombo, the capital city of Sri Lankan, HAZRAT Adem began to explore the world for the first time in these lands. The lands of Sri Lanka, also known as the teardrop of India due to its tear-like appearance on the map, was indeed the starting point of a journey that passed with sadness for the Prophet Adem. Because there were only Adam and Eve as human beings, and they were very used to each other when they were in heaven. Now they were alone on a different planet. Moreover, they had no idea where each other was. They were both so regretful and sad that they cried and repented for 200 years and begged God to reunite with each other. Finally, Allahu Ta'ala accepted the prayers of our mother, that is, the ancestors of humanity, and allowed them to reunite with each other. Of course, if Allah wanted, He could have brought them together in an instant, but everything in that world created a cause and effect relationship, and it is believed that Adam and Eve began to look for each other until they found each other. This is exactly where the theories and beliefs about the Adam's Bridge begin. Sri Lanka is an island country. Therefore, before Adam could reach Eve, he had to cross the sea and go to the land of today's India, 45 kilometers away. From there, he would be able to advance to the lands of Arabia, where the Prophet Eve was. It is believed that HAZRAT Adem built a huge bridge connecting Sri Lanka to India. At this point, the following question comes to mind. How did Adem alayhi salam come to be alone? He may have been able to build a path for himself on the sea by stacking tons of rocks on top of each other. As you know, HAZRAT Adem's height was 40 meters. If we start from here, it does not seem impossible to make a passage through rocks of this size. Of course, while telling all this, it is useful to underline that we do not have a strong source for the emergence of the belief about the Adam's Bridge. Therefore, it is necessary to stop and examine it, believing that Allah knows best. There are three main reasons for the emergence of this belief. The fact that Prophet Adem was descended into Sri Lanka had to leave this island to find our mother Eve, and the discovery of this huge, possibly man-made bridge connecting the two landmasses, led people to naturally have a belief that the bridge was built by His Holiness Adem Sri. Leaving the land of Lanka, they finally find the trail of the Prophet Eve and meet again on this very hill, which you have seen. this hill, located 25 kilometers east of Mecca, is the Hill of Ramat, and it is located in Arafat, where the foundation, the most important pilgrimage of Hajj, was made. There are other striking traces of the Prophet Adem on the lands of Sri Lanka. I'll talk about those a little later. But first, let me briefly explain the importance of the Adam's Bridge for Hindus. The role of Hindus in the uprisings against the government of India is much greater than that of Muslims. This bridge, known as Rama Setu in Hindu belief, is thought to have not formed naturally. According to the legend told in the Ramayana epic written in 500 BC, which had a profound effect on the development of Indian culture and society, it is said that Lord Rama built this bridge in cooperation with the monkey and bear army. Legend has it that thousands of years ago, a demon king named Ravana lived in the land of Sri Lanka. This king kidnapped Sita, the wife of Lord Rama, who lived in India, and took her to Sri Lanka to his kingdom. Lord Rama embarked on a journey to save his wife, Sita, from the clutches of the demon king. During this journey, he encountered Hanuma, the king of monkeys in the jungle, and they made an agreement with him and formed an army of monkeys and bears. The task of this army was to build a bridge that would connect India to Sri Lanka. The mighty army, which started to work immediately, put the rocks on top of each other and formed a huge bridge. When Lord and his army finally reached Sri Lanka, they engaged in a fierce battle with Ravana and his demon army. After this long battle, Lord Rama was victorious and rescued his wife Sita from the demon king. This story, which has an important place in Hindu belief, has been passed down from generation to generation and is the main reason why the Rama Setu bridge has a spiritual significance for Hindus. As you can see, this place is very important for both Muslims and Hindus. This is the biggest obstacle in front of the canal project to be built on it. But is this really a man-made bridge? Before mentioning the results of the scientific researches, I would like to briefly explain the other subject of the Prophet Adem in Sri Lanka. This giant footprint in Sri Lanka, which you see on the screen, is believed to belong to HAZRAT Adem. Located inside the temple on the summit of Mount Adem, this footprint has different characteristics for Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, and Muslims. Hindus believe that this giant footprint was left by Lord Shiva. According to Buddhists, it is a sign left by the Buddha during his last visit to Sri Lanka. According to Christians, this footprint belongs to Saint Thomas, who introduced Christianity for the first time, and according to Muslims, this giant footprint belongs to none other than Prophet Adem. Located in Gal City in the south of Sri Lanka, this mosque named Masjid Eber is believed to have been built on the spot where Prophet Adem visited and prayed often. Another interesting place is the two tombs found in a Muslim place of worship near the starting point of the Adam's Bridge. Although there is no proof of their authenticity, many believe that these two giant tombs belonged to Adam and Eve. God knows the truth. What if we go back to the Adam's Bridge? This place dating back thousands of years, is it really a man-made? Scientists authorized by the Indian government, who attempted to prove the opposite, could not prove that this place was a natural formation after deep research on the Adam's Bridge. Some scientists say that this place is definitely a natural formation. Others argue that only the underlying sand is natural, but the stones on it may have been placed by human hands. In other words, the Bridge of Adem still continues to preserve its mystery. It seems that the ships will continue to cruise around 740 kilometers of Sri Lanka until proven otherwise. One way or another, Adem's Bridge remains one of the most mysterious places on Earth. In the meantime, you can take a look at the recently released movie called Ramsetu. In the film, he describes the clues that the scientists assigned by the canal project encountered during their scientific research on Ramsetu. Take care until we see you in the next mystery video.